Did you know that there was a king named Romulus who established Rome? Well, actually, he did untechnically establish Rome because he killed his twin brother Remus while they were fighting over territory for their new settlement. This was, of course, in the mythical founding of Rome some 2,700 years ago. If you want to hear more about this amazing story and what it means for our understanding of Roman culture and society, then stay tuned. In this episode, we'll be exploring the life and legacy of Romulus, the first king of Rome. So let's get started. Romulus was the first king of Rome, according to Roman mythology. He was the son of Mars, the god of war, and Rhea Silvia, a Vestal virgin. Romulus and his twin brother Remus were raised by a she-wolf. After their mother put them in a basket and set them adrift down a river, they were eventually found by shepherds who took them in and raised them as their own. As young men, Romulus and Remus learned that they were not actually brothers, but rather twins who shared the same mother. Fearing that this would cause conflict between them, their father Romulus ordered that one of them must kill the other. Romulus ended up killing Remus and became the sole ruler of the region. He then founded the city of Rome and made it into the powerful empire that it is today. There are many versions of the story of Romulus and Remus, but all of them agree on a few key points. Romulus was indeed the first king of Rome. He was the son of Mars and Rhea Silvia, and he killed his twin brother Remus while they were fighting over territory for their new settlement. Now, why is Romulus considered the first king of Rome? According to Roman tradition, Romulus founded the city of Rome in the year 753 BCE, before Romulus. There was no king of Rome. The city was ruled by a series of kings from neighboring cities, such as the Etruscan kings and the Sabine kings. But when Romulus arrived in the region, he established his own kingdom and became the first king of Rome. It is important to note that the title of the first king of Rome is not merely a historical designation, but also a symbol of Roman identity and pride. To be the first king of Rome was to be the founder of Roman civilization and culture. It was a position of great power and prestige. The story of Romulus and Remus is one of the most famous myths in all of Western literature. It is a tale of fraternal rivalry, ambition, and the struggle for power. It is also a story of courage, determination, and the will to succeed against all odds. According to the myth, Romulus and Remus were abandoned as infants and left to die on the banks of the Tiber River, but they were rescued by a she-wolf who took them into her den and raised them as her own. The twins grew up to be strong and brave warriors, and they soon decided to build a city on the banks of the Tiber. But the brothers soon fell out over which one of them should be king. Remus wanted to be king, but Romulus was more ambitious. He wanted to rule over all of Italy. Eventually, the brothers fought a duel to decide who would be king, and Romulus killed Remus in the process. This part of the story, of course, illustrates the ambition and ruthlessness that were required to become a successful leader in ancient Rome. It also shows the lengths to which people would go to achieve power. After killing his brother, Romulus went on to found the city of Rome and make it into the powerful empire that it is today. He established many of Rome's early institutions, including the Senate and the legions. He also defeated many of Rome's enemies and expanded its territory. The story of Romulus has been celebrated in art and literature for centuries. He is often depicted as a heroic figure who overcame great obstacles to achieve success. The myth of Romulus and Remus is still taught in schools today, and it remains an important part of Italian culture. So why is the story of Romulus important for our understanding of Roman culture and society? The story of Romulus and Remus is important for our understanding of Roman culture and society because it tells us a lot about the values and beliefs of the Romans. For example, the story of Romulus shows us that the Romans valued strength and courage above all else. Romulus was the strongest and bravest of all the characters in the story, and he was rewarded with the kingship of Rome. The story also tells us that the Romans believed that their kings were chosen by the gods. Romulus was the son of Mars, the god of war, and he was destined to become a great warrior and leader. Another thing that the story of Romulus teaches us is that the Romans believed that their city was founded by a divine being. Romulus was not just any ordinary man. He was the son of a god, and this made him the perfect person to found the city of Rome. Finally, the story of Romulus and Remus teaches us that the Romans believed that their city was founded on blood. Romulus killed his twin brother Remus in order to become king, and this violence was necessary to establish the city of Rome. These are just a few of the things that the story of Romulus teaches us about Roman culture and society. Overall, it's a fascinating story that gives us insight into the minds of the ancient Romans. One of the most interesting aspects of the story of Romulus is the fact that he is a mysterious figure. We don't know much about him, and that adds to his appeal. There are many unanswered questions about Romulus, such as what happened to him after he became king of Rome. Did he have any children? What was his personality like? We don't know the answers to these questions, but we can speculate based on the little information we do have. What we do know is that Romulus was a great leader and a successful conqueror. He is credited with founding the city of Rome and making it into the powerful empire that it is today. He was also the father of many children, and he had a long line of descendants who went on to rule over Rome. Despite his many accomplishments, Romulus is a relatively unknown figure. We don't have much information about him, and that makes him all the more fascinating. There are many theories about Romulus and his life, but we may never know the truth. That's part of what makes him so appealing. He's a character shrouded in mystery. One of the things that makes Romulus such an interesting character is the fact that he is linked to the gods. According to Roman mythology, Romulus was the son of Mars, the god of war. This makes him a demigod, and it gives him a certain amount of power and prestige. It also makes him more closely connected to the Romans and their culture. The Romans believed that their kings were often chosen by the gods, and this was seen as a great honor. Romulus's divine ancestry also makes him more powerful than other characters in the story. He has access to the power and strength of the gods, and he uses this to his advantage. When he kills his twin brother Remus, he is able to do so with ease. Romulus's divine nature also makes him more tragic. He is not just an ordinary human being, and that makes his death all the more impactful. Another interesting aspect of Romulus's character is the fact that he is responsible for establishing some of Rome's key institutions. According to tradition, Romulus was the first king of Rome, and he was responsible for setting up the government and creating the laws and customs that would shape Roman society. He is also credited with founding the Roman Senate, which was the most important governing body in Roman politics. In addition, Romulus is said to have founded the Roman legions, which were the military units that would go on to conquer much of the known world. These are all significant accomplishments, and they make Romulus an important figure in Roman history. The story of Romulus and Remus is an epic tale of heroism, ambition, and the struggle for power. Romulus, the first king of Rome, was a legendary figure who is said to have founded the city of Rome and established its government and laws. He was the son of Mars, the god of war, and he was destined to become a great warrior and leader. Despite being a demigod, Romulus was a mysterious figure whose true origins are unknown. He is said to have killed his twin brother Remus in a fit of rage, establishing himself as the sole ruler of the region. Romulus went on to conquer much of Italy, and he is credited with founding the Roman Senate and the Roman legions. He was a legendary king who is said to have established the foundations of Roman civilization. Overall, Romulus is an enigmatic and powerful figure in Roman mythology. His story is a reminder of the importance of family and the power of ambition. His legacy continues to live on in modern times, and his story continues to inspire awe and wonder in those who hear it. See you next time.